Hello, I am Peaches of the E&E Models of Jackson and your host of Hit the Runway in Style. Her love for fashion began at the incredible age of 8 years old. Her first major sewing project was in the 3rd grade, while her classmates were bringing in their favorite games and toys for show and tell. She took a matching 3-piece outfit made from her mother's scrap fabric. My guest today is fashion designer Gail Rayford Ambeau, and she is here to share her incredible story. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with the show. Hi, I am Peaches of the E&E Models of Jackson. Are you a fashion designer, fashion diva, have an upcoming fashion show in the fashion industry, or would you like to be a sponsor? Then you can be a guest on the show. Contact Peaches at the E&E Models of Jackson at yahoo.com or call 601-572-7722. We're back and you're watching Hit the Runway in Style with my guest today, fashion designer Gail Ambeau. Did I pronounce that right?
Ambeau.
Ambeau. I want to make sure I get that right.
Okay.
I knew I was going to mess it up, but that's fine. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
Now, as I always tell everybody that I bring in, the first thing that I asked about is we want to find out who that person is that I'm interviewing before we start talking about really what your platform is. So we want to find out a little bit about who is Gail.
Okay. Well, I am originally from Toledo, Ohio, born and raised there. But I went to college at Alcorn State University. I'm an Alcornite.
Alcornite.
I was the first female tuba player in the SWAC.
Oh, okay.
And it's continued the tradition ever since then. I am the youngest of 4 children to my parents who are originally from Mississippi, and that's how I ended up back here in Mississippi. A wife, mother of 4. And a new grandmother.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Girl,
Thank you.
Boy?
Girl, little girl.
Okay, great, great.
Yes.
Now we're going to jump right into Gail being a fashion designer. And in my opening statement, and then when I read let me back up. When I read your bio, I had to mention that in the opening statement about when kids were bringing in their show and tell. You brought in a matching 3-piece outfit.
I did.
So let's talk about that. We're going to jump right into your platform, and that is being a fashion designer. We met, maybe about a month ago, and I was just amazed with the outfits and things. And we're going to, of course, show some of those. But let's talk about Gail being the fashion designer, how that really started at such an early age.
Well, and I've never really just thought about it. It was just something that I've always done. My mother used to sew.
Okay.
She was a part of a sewing club.
Okay.
And so I would always be in the same room with her when she would do her work and sew. And sometimes I would go to their little meetings. And so I started begging for her scraps, and I would sew them together with a hand needle.
Oh my gosh.
And try to make stuff for my dolls. And I guess she realized how much I was into sewing, and they bought me a toy sewing machine. Not like the toy sewing machines they make now. It had glue. And I don't even understand how it worked. Instead of thread, it glued the fabric together. And got pretty good with that. And you used to be able to buy Barbie doll clothes at the fabric store, they were pre-printed on the fabric.
Okay.
And you would just cut them out, and sew them together.
Okay.
That's what I started off doing. And I used my toy machine and sewed my little Barbie doll stuff. And then I went from that to making clothes from my Barbie and my little Chrissy doll, you know, the doll with the hair that grows. And one day I told my mother, I want to make something from a real pattern. And she said, well, okay, you think you're right? I said, yeah, I want to, you show me, because I was always watching her, you know. I said, you show me, you help me. She says, no, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it on your own. So we went to the store, and I kept looking through the patterns, and I knew I wanted to make some pants.
Okay.
So we found some bell-bottoms, you know, that during that time, the bell-bottom pants were out. And found a pattern for some bell-bottom pants, and a pattern for a vest. And I liked wearing hats then as a child. So I found a pattern for a hat. I forgot what they call those little hats with the little brim that goes all the way around and a little button in the top. So I made, that's what I wanted. And she didn't want to buy me any fabric because this was my first project. She didn't want it to, you know, be wasted. So she had lots of scraps of stuff. So I had to try to figure out how to fashion the pattern to match the fabric with, so I took 2 different kind of fabrics, and that's when I started marrying the different fabrics together. One was a purple, like denim like fabric, and the other one was a multicolored blue and purple and burgundy and some other odd color, that heavy polyester that used to be out back then. So that's what I made my outfit from. Okay. And my vest was denim, and my pants were the polyester, and then I took all of the remaining scraps and made the hat.
Now, I want to know what they thought when they were bringing toys and you come in there with an outfit.
Yeah, it was show and tell. They didn't say what you could bring, just it's show and tell. So you brought whatever you wanted to talk about. And I wore it to school. You know, I used to walk to school, so I wore my outfit to school, and I was just so proud. And I stood up and said, well, what did you bring today? I said, I brought my outfit. And my teacher, she insulted me. I was one of the first black, I wasn't the first, but one of the first black students at my school then, and I was in the 3rd grade. And you know, so you got all the little white faces. And my teacher, the principal was black, but I was the only black in that class, and 3 blacks in the whole school, K through 6.
Oh gosh, oh gosh.
So when I said I brought my outfit, and you know, all the kids, you know how kids are, ooh. They said, well, what do you mean you brought? I said, I made it myself. I was just so proud, you know. I said, I made my hat and my vest and my pants. And my teacher said, no, you didn't. And
yes, I did.
Yeah, I said, yes, I did. She said, no, you didn't, and you shouldn't be lying, you know, to the class like that. I said, I made this. She took me in the hallway, and she went inside my clothes to look at the seams and stuff to see if I was telling the truth.
Oh my gosh.
She insulted me.
Even though that happened, she could see what we now see.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She could see it then.
Yeah.
But she just didn't want to acknowledge it and encourage it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But she could see then, and she took that much effort to go through and
to
do
that. Because you know, it was a point, it was going to, at that time, it was always a point to be made that whatever you did, and for me, was not the truth. So, you know, we got to figure out a way to make sure that, you know, we can prove that she's not telling the truth. Because they would have called my mom. You know, Gail's in here telling stories. My mother was a teacher, but she taught at another school. So they knew, you know, they knew her through the education system. So they would look for, you know, reasons to say and do things, you know.
Well, we're going to have to take a break.